What's up guys, SB Architects here. Today we are going to start new Archicad training series. We are going to learn Archicad from scratch and you will learn everything and you will see how we are going to achieve a very big progress using Archicad. Now, as you can see, we are completely started Archicad blank and you will only see some options, some menu here, right here, and I will introduce one by one what are these, and also we have very interesting learning map. In this first lesson we will learn how to use the UI system, parameters, sketch helpers, points, fills, and surfaces. And second lesson we will learn materials, pen sets, and floor settings and walls. Third lesson, we will see how to create our slabs, floor plans, sections, groups, measures, find and selection, text and helper lines, grids and background helpers. As you can see, we are in the Archicad, and if we click File menu, you can click New System here, New Project here. If you want to import other files into Archicad, you will use this external content, and in the external content you can import DWG files into your projects. You can edit them from here. You can exploit your DWG files and also rearrange and edit them. If we go to View menu, you will see on-screen view option. Here you can see true line weight or bold cut lines, etc. In the design menu, we can edit our roofs, we can add extra truss makers, we can add different interior objects, and we can modify our morphs. And if we go to document, you can organize your layers, documentation tools such as line fill, and also you can edit your schedule system and some layout drawings. And as you see here, we are under the options menu. In the options, you can change your project units, working units, calculation units, and you can customize your work environment, such as the icon positions, icon organizations, and also which menu you want to use, such as if you right click here and see what you can see in your menu. We will see it if we create a new project. And under the teamwork, if you are going to use Archicad in your office, you will use this teamwork system, and in the same file you can use your Archicad with your different team members. In the window, you can just navigate your windows. You will see your floor plans, sections, and other 3D elements here, and you can organize them under the windows and other add-ons that I've downloaded and imported to Archicad, and you won't see them right now, and of course helping more options. Now let's go to File menu and click New Project Files. From here you can create a new project from Archicad template, or you can just use your latest project settings. If you use the latest project settings, there won't be any changes because this is going to be your first project, I presume. So therefore we are going to click the template with the Archicad 27 template, and you can change your work environment profile. As I mentioned before, its now current profile is default, but you can customize them and you can determine which menu you want to see or not. Okay, let's click new, and you will see completely blank Archicad page. And by the default, you can see the elevations. South elevations is elevations, and if you place any items, any walls, objects, furnitures, it will create immediately your elevation from scratch. Of course, you can delete them, you can move them, and you can customize them. Now we are going to change our unit system. To change the unit system, we will go to options menu and click project preferences, and we will click this working units. As you can see under the length unit, we use the millimeter right now. You can change it from here, and mostly I prefer using centimeter, and if you want to add more decimal, you can click 1 or 2 and you will see its preview right here. We can make this 0, and you can change your other unit systems, area unit, volume unit, and etc. And this is how you can change your working units. Let's click OK. Now we will continue from placing our lines and other document tools. For instance, we are going to place line. We will click this line under the document menu, and from the screen we will just click starting position and end position. If you hit the escape, you will see this arrow changed, and you can click your newly created line, and you can see 2 different points. These 2 different points determines your line position and direction. You can customize it by clicking your points directly, like this. And if you click your point, a new menu will appear like this, and it's now on the stretch command. You can change this to multiply, mirror, rotate, and drag. This 4 unit appends your whole line. So if you want to change only node position, you will use this stretch command. And now I will click different position, and our line changed. Now let's change this. Let's edit this line. We will click this line like this, and on the line we are going to click once again. This time you can add different line because we click the edge, not point. So we will see different menu, such as this insert new node, curve edge, and edit segments using tangent. Now we can add different points. We can turn this into curve like this, or we can edit segments, this segment using tangent like this. As you can see, this is completely soft and continues its tangent. You can continue placing more points like this. For instance, let's click this line, but it selects only parts. But you can group them. You can select all of the lines, and from the edit, grouping, you can click group. We can see its shortcut, and you can change this. Now it's group. And from here, you can see a shortcut is unchecked. So the suspend groups is off. Therefore, if we click here and any point of the line, it will select whole group. With this command, you cannot add points and change. So in order to add points or change points, you will click this suspend groups. From now on, we can continue clicking edges like this, and we can continue editing like this. Let's hit Ctrl+Z to go back. And this is Archicad main logic. Points and edges are so important. They create your lines, walls, slabs, other elements. With the same logic, we can add fills. Let's click this fill tool, and from here you will see this geometry method. You can use polygonal, rectangular, and rotated rectangular. With the polygonal, you can just click random points, and to finish you will click once again, or you can use rectangular like this, or rotated rectangular. Of course, you can input dimension. For instance, by this rectangular, I will click this point, and I want to make this 3 meter to 3 meter. So to do it, first, once we click our place, our position, starting edge, and we will hit tab. You will see this dimension 1 selected, and now we can edit this value. we can input here 500, which means 5 meters. After that, we can hit enter, continue, or we can switch to dimension 2. To do it, we will hit the tab once again, and I want to make this 750. I will click 700, input 750, and hit enter. Just like this. It's very simple. Let's click our rectangle, and from top menu, we can see different options. We can change the fill type. You can see lots of options here, such as earth, brick, gravel, and gypsum. And we can use outline or outline off. And we can change its solid line type to dashed. And we can see which the area it use by clicking this show area text. If you remember, we could change the unit system from the options, project preferences, and working units. This is area, and we change this area unit, it will be changed. For instance, from your keyboard, hit the M, click your corners, and you will see 37.5 right here, because we changed this to 2. If you want to change this number on your fill, you will go to options, project preferences, and this time we are going to use dimensions. From here, we are using the plane meter dimension system, and if you click this icon, you can change it from here. As you can see, it changed to custom, and you can store the settings as your profile, and with this profile settings, you can change this very fastly on your incoming projects or these projects on the different pages. Let's click OK, and you will see this value is changed. As you can see, with only this line and fill tool, you can create your architectural sketches, and this will be a very good starting point for your Archicad learning progress, because you know everything starts from scratch and lines. In this lesson, we will learn how to manage the building materials, pen and pen sets, floor plans and settings, and walls. This is going to be a very important and exciting tutorial. I suggest you watching to the end, and this will be a very fundamental progress of your Archicad training progress. So, what are the building materials? A building material is a super attribute, a combination of multiple attributes having defined properties. All models elements use building materials instead of cut fills. These building materials are also available for stairs, railing, profile elements, and other library parts. And they are defined globally in the building material dialog box, then applied to construction elements in their own settings dialog boxes. So to do it, we will go to options menu and go to element attributes, and here we can see this building material menu, and we will see a list here, and we can use brick, brick finish, aluminum, airspace, gravel, glass, etc., etc., everything. And each material has its own settings, such as its fill type. You can change it from here. Their surface type. This is what you see in 3D. It uses concrete 04. And this is the intersection priority. That means if you intersect two different walls, which building material will be on the top. With this intersection priority, you can set that. And also you can see other settings, environmental settings, and other special settings, such as physical properties, density, and heat capacity. Of course, you can customize this, and of course, you can create your own building material. If you click this new, and it says you can duplicate this concrete because we click this concrete, or you can just click new. For instance, you can set for ceramic tile. After clicking OK, you can determine your settings such as this tiling. But here we can see only cut tilings because these building materials visible are only in cuts. So if you cut any kind of ceramic tile, you won't see anything. You will see only background, simple solid fill. So we are going to use this background for ceramic tile, and for the background you can use the window background color, or you can make it transparent. Since we are using this transparent, this pen color is not important because it's transparent. Here we can change your ceramic tile surface. We can search for any kind of tile. For instance, this tile 10, 30 to 30. We don't know this intersection priority, so we can give any number for now. This was how you can create a ceramic tile or any kind of material, building material. You can duplicate it from here. For instance, you can click this plywood and duplicate, and you can just type in plywood exterior or interior, and you can determine your surface settings from here. Just click OK, and now it's ready to use for walls or stairs or roof building construction types. So if we click wall from here, you will see a couple of settings right here. And if you click structure, you can see composite type, profile type, and simple. Let's switch for simple, and you can use your newly created tile from this list. But since we are going to create a simple wall, is going to be from 10 centimeter to maybe 30 centimeter. I want to make it brick, so we are going to use brick building material. Wall thickness is 300 millimeters, and our wall height will be 3000 millimeters. To change the height, we will change the floor height settings. Okay, let's do that. Let's go to this project map. On the default, you will see this view map. You will just click this project map, and you can click ground floor, first or second story. It doesn't important. And after that, we will hit these settings. Here you will see the story settings. You can add above or insert below, or you can delete second story or other stories. Let's add a couple of stairs. I'm going to click this one and insert above. Click insert above. And this is the height to next. And this is the total elevation. Which elevation of this second floor? If you want to change your floor height, for instance, 3.5 meters, you will make this value. You will input your value here, and you can copy number to here as well, and you will realize that elevations will also be changed. And of course, you can insert below under this ground floor, and it's going to be -1. Now let's click OK, and you will see our bottom and top value changed. But it's linked stories, and this wall is for the top linked to first story. You can change it from here to 2, and you will see the top height will be changed. It didn't change because we will go to its settings from this icon, and here you will see offset value added automatically. This must be 0. And here you will see if you start from 0, and finish from the second story, your wall height will be 7000 millimeter. Let's click OK. And as you created lines, it's the same. We will click on the screen and click our second destination. Let's click arrow, click our wall. We can click our wall, and also we can see our building material type is brick. We can change it from here as well. It's now fiberboard, brick structural, and iron maybe. Let's make it brick once again. And if we click our wall, we can change its thickness as well, as we did before. It's now 20 centimeters. And here we have a settings for the reference line location, which is this blue line. This is our reference line location, and it determines our outside base. So that means if we hit F3 from keyboard, if we click our wall, and now I'm going to pan this window. To do it, I will hit the middle mouse button and hit the shift same time. Now I can orbit my view. And after that, I will just zoom in by rolling my mouse button, middle mouse button. And here we can see the blue reference line, which is the outside base. This part is outside and this part is inside. You can create your walls as layered system. You can, for instance, you can cover your outside face with a plaster with a different paint, and you can use different plaster with a different paint on inside. But that's the long way. To shortly, you can go to settings with Ctrl+T, or you can just icon, and after that you can see this override surfaces. And this is inside face surface. I'm just going to hover over its preview text. This is edge and this is outside. For instance, I want to change outside to stucco yellow row. So I'm going to select it from here. And if I click OK, and you will see why this part, this position will be painted as yellow. And for instance, if I want to change the inside, I'm going to hit the inside face surface and click stucco white row. This is the most simple method. Of course, as I mentioned before, we can create different layer system from this structure menu, such as this one, but this is for another topic. Let's go back and let's say that we are going to create a room. Let's click the wall tool, or if you hit the Alt, you will just copy these settings, and after that, as we use the line system, so that's why it's important to watching the first lesson. We can use this polygonal method, we can use the circular and rectangular from this menu. And once we click, we will click our second position to finish this rectangular room. And here, before clicking, you will realize that some lines are bold and some lines are thin. And bold lines will determine your outside. Of course, thin lines will determine your inside of your wall. Now, if we hit P, you will see the position changes according to your reference line. And for instance, I want this to be, if I hit the tab, 5000 and 7500 and hit enter. Now this is our room. Let's hit F3 and we can see our room as well. Let's get rid of that. And here you can see there are unwanted edges right there. Let's select all of them. The suspend group is off right now. Let's close that and select all of them. and go to settings, or you can see a shortcut from here, this surface, and here you will activate this edge surface, and they're going to be Coco yellow row, and that's it. All editing properties are the same as we did for the lines. We can just click edges, we can add more points, we can offset them, for instance 2 meters, and etc. If we were to go to the view menu and click on the screen view options, and if we click the true line weight, if we just zoom in, here we will see bold black line. What are these? How we can change this black line? If we click wall and go to settings, here you will see the cut line, solid, and cut line pen is 0.35 millimeter, which determined by 27 pen type, and it was placed here. It says wall curtain walls cut structure. This is a pen set. You can change this pen sets, and you can add your custom pens, or you can edit these pens. Let's presume that I want to make this cut line pen wider. So I'm going to find this 27. To do it, I'm going to go to options menu, go to element attributes, and I'm going to click this pen color, and it's architectural 100. It says this view is using this architectural 100 03. You can see it here as well. With this icon, you can determine which pen set this view is using. For instance, let's create another pen set. It's very simple. I'm going to click the 27 and change this value to 0.45. And after that, it changed to custom. But I want to change its name. It may be confusing. So I'm going to click store as, and I'm going to type in SP architect pen set, or I can just input floor plan pen set. Let's click store and click OK. Here you can see it was already changed to wider pen. You can go back from here, or you can select other pen sets. For instance, I want to fill inside black, so I'm going to go to element attributes and click building material, and I'm going to search for generic, maybe this one, generic environment, click duplicate and type in sketch. After that, I will change its color to background, and I'm going to change the background pen to maybe 1 because it's black. This is not important. You can choose any color you want. It won't be visible because we are using background. If we were to use the foreground, somewhere here, by using that you will have to change this foreground pen. Anyway, now since it was named as sketch, our surface type will be white. Why not? And I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to select all of the walls from the structure. I'm going to use our sketch. And in the 3D, we will see this. And if we select all of them, and under settings, we just uncheck the override surfaces, it will be white. because we are using the white building material sketch system. How to make slabs, floors, sections, find and selection tool, text, grids, and more. As you remember, in the last lesson we have created some walls and we learned how to edit this simply, of course, and how to fill inside and how to change color. It was the very simple method of doing that. Of course, there are multiple ways to doing this. And now we are going to use Slab tool to fill inside or outside. And after that, if we select Slab tool, you will see a couple of options right here. Reference plane location. Now it's on the default core tab. I prefer using this because if you use layer system for your floors, your finishing will be placed on your core, on your floor level. If you change this, for instance, to plane location tab, your tab position will be located on your finishing, such as timber, such as tilings. It's not a clear solution. Therefore, we are going to use this core tab. And of course, you can change the structure type. Now it's layered system and you can choose the basic element, such as we use these walls. And if we select structure, we can see options are element options, concrete structure, for instance. Of course, their intersection priority are different. This concrete structural is more than concrete, so if you intersect them together when using them in wall, the concrete structural will be placed on the concrete. Since we are going to use the slab tool, we prefer the concrete structural because this is going to be probably a reinforced concrete building. And for the bottom and top position, it's now, as you can see, slab thickness is 300 millimeters. I will change the unit system to centimeters from working units. We will change this millimeter to centimeter, and as you can see now this is 30 centimeter slab. After that, for instance, we will pull inside these walls. To do it, we will click this corner. As you can see, it is creating rectangular, so we will change the geometry method to polygonal. We are going to click our second and we can change the placing type from here. Now it's arc, or if you are not satisfied that, you can place simple rectangle and edit them later, or you can go to click the arc by 3 points, our second and our third point, and we will click here to finish it. After that, we switch to simple line, finish like this. This is the long way. If you want to do that simply, you will just use your slab tool and after that hit the space using the magic wand tool and click inside. As you can see, it was automatically created by magic wand tool, and magic wand tool is a tool which can select and determines your elements automatically, such as inside of these walls. You can use this with the slab, beam, wall, or other elements in Archicad. We are going to dive in deeper for magic wand tool. Of course, after placing this, you can continue editing this slab. For instance, if you select your slab and if you click edge, you can modify it by using this menu. Now it's corner. I'm going to click once again and I can add another point, or I can click subtract from polygon, or I can add more points such as this one. We go to 3D window, you can hit the F5 or F3, you can see it's 3D. And you can see its blue reference line, the core tab as well. And it's now 0 home position, home story. This blue reference line determines your home story and its ground floor 0. If you click this, you can change its reference position to project 0 or other reference levels, but the easiest method is using the home and height offset. For instance, if you want to make this elevated from the ground floor as 1 meter, you can change this value to 1 meter. You can hit enter and there you go. Now, if we were to create a section, if we go to document, viewpoint and section, now we are going to maybe start from here and from here to look this direction. After that, you will see your section was created automatically under this section folder. You can double click here, or if you cannot find your section page or bigger projects, it's hard to find sometimes, I know. So you can click your section on the floor plan. You can right click and click the open with current view settings. And this is our section. You can select and modify your elements such as walls and slabs. You can change the heights. And this position, this top position is 1 meter above this ground floor. If you hit the M, you will see, it will say 1 meter or 100 centimeter. If you hit the F2, you will immediately go back to ground floor and you can continue your documentation progress, such as this section. As you can see the horizontal range. Now it's infinite depth. If I move this section, I will see everything. But if we switch to this limited depth, you will only see to this line. And of course, you can switch to this zero depth and we will see nothing because it won't intersect any element. But if we move this to here, we will see a section of this slab, or if we here, we will see only these cut positions and cut drawings. Just like that. If you want to measure something in Archicad, you can hit the M button and you can click anywhere to measure your distance. It says 4 meters and 60 centimeters. This is not a permanent dimension. If you want to place a permanent dimension, you can go to document and use the dimension tools, but we will use them on the next lesson. If you want to place text in Archicad, you can go to document and you can use this text tool. After that, you can change the font size and rotation from here. If you want to print this on a paper, I prefer not using the lower than 2 millimeters. So the best size is 3 millimeters, I think. And of course, you can change the text style, bold, italic, and underline. You can change the alignment from here, and also text pen. You know how you can change the pen colors and thickness from the second lesson. After that, we will click here and we can input our text. Maybe kitchen. I don't know. Of course, this is not a zone. We will use the zone tool, this tool, and zone tool is very important when labeling this kind of rooms. This was only text and the most simple method placing text in Archicad. That's why I showed you. This anchor point is very important. Now it's top left. If I copy this to here, maybe here, and one more, I will change this to bottom left. And if I select both of them, and if I change their size, for instance 1, you will see this moves to this position. This kitchen text reduces its size to right left position or bottom left position and reverse. This is why using anchor points is important. You can place your text according to them, and mostly middle works. If you change the scale, well, we have a non-permanent scale value here. If you change the scale to 1 to 200, you will see text stays still and other elements changes its scale or reverse, but it's changing position determined by this anchor point. Just like this. By the way, we have a problem for this text because this wrap text on. We will uncheck this and everything will be fixed. When selecting something in Archicad, we can use the arrow tool. For instance, I'm going to click here and select this from left to right, and I'm going to try to select this. You will see these two kitchen text selected, but not this floor. If I want to select that with this action, while doing this action, we will change selection settings. From here, you will see the selection settings is now the, I don't know its name, from right to left, left to right, and polygonal selection, rectangular and rotated rectangular selection. Let's switch to first, and you will see if our rectangle intersects something, the intersected element will also be selected. If you want to do it as AutoCAD, you can use the third. It will be different from selecting left to right or right to left. Or you can just use the second. It always be selected if you cover all of the elements with your selecting rectangle. I prefer using third one, and each time I don't have to switch back to option icon, and I can go to left to right or right to left. If you want to add grids in Archicad, it's very simple. Under the document, we can click this element tool, and here you can see lots of options appeared, and of course in the channel there are much more deeper tutorials only talking about grid elements, but knowing the main options for using grid elements will be enough for this time. For instance, if I click here and click here, secondly, we will see this A, because for the grid naming, it's automatic name, and ABC, we can change it to 1, 2, 3. If you don't see these settings, you can go to the main settings for the grids. Shortcut is Ctrl+T, or you can click this grid options. There are different sections, there are different settings for the sections, elevations, and floor plan. Now we are on the floor plan, so we will change the floor plan settings. For instance, you can change the line type from here. You can make it dashed. You can uncheck make visible or invisible your markers, and the staggering point, which is the first point. So if you want to break it, just like this. This is staggering points. For instance, let's make this 200, and you will see it's way more different, but you can change it manually by clicking these purple nodes. After that, if you click the second purple node near the circle, you will see it creates a different zigzag line for your grid. You cannot edit the grid by using these points. You will click these purple points. And if you hit the shift, you will see this flux to do that X direction. And you can use the shift for many commands such as placing walls, slabs, lines, and the most elements. And I'm hitting the shift and clicking this point, and they will be exactly on the same point on the x-axis. These grids are also visible in the 3D. If you want to make them hidden, you can select your grids and go to settings. We are changing 3D window, so we will go to 3D view and just uncheck this 3D. You can change their color from this menu, for instance this 4, or you can go to selection settings dialog box, and you can change them from here as well. It's not affecting only floor plan because we are on the floor plan. If you want to change the section visibility, you can change these values under the section. Since we have created the section, we can see our grids on the sections. Now I will open up the section with current view settings, and I will see our section. As we did before, I want to hide this middle part and only want to see top and bottom part, so I will edit the section elevation part, and I will click this second. If I select this, I won't see any grid. If I select the second, you will see more extended lines will be appeared, and we can change the starting position. For instance, if you want to start this grid for a more deeper position, we will change this value to maybe 600, because as you can see, there might be some basement for the building or roof. If you place roof, your grids will be intersected with roof. Therefore, you may have to edit your grid elevation, and you can fix it from the marker position, just like this. And of course, by using the different colors, you can change your grid colors, and you won't have to fix them one by one. After learning grids, we have find and selection tool. If you want to search something in your project, it's very simple. You can hit Ctrl+F and you will see this find and selection tool. By changing this criteria element, you can see this all types selected. If I want to find all the grids, I will change the grid from this list. If you can't see your element from this list, you can click more and you will see everything. Now I can select the grid element, and if I hit the plus, it will select all of the all of grids. But if you want to add criteria for your grids, you will click the add and you can just search grids and you will see the options for your grids. There is no specific option for grids, so we can search something different. But on this screen, if you hit Alt and click your grid, you will see immediately the options will be set up the grid. After that, you can click the element type, model view, you can select according to layers, positioning. Now I'm going to hit the Alt and click the wall. You will see this value change to wall, and if I hit the wall plus, all of the walls will be selected. For instance, if I select this wall and change its height, after that, if I hold click this wall and click the add and search for height, and now the height value is 0. After that, I can input a value here equal, more than, less than. But to make it shorter, I will hit the Alt and click this wall. And you will see your wall height, and if I hit the plus, all of the walls which height is equal 532 will be selected. Let's go to 3D window by clicking F3, and after that I will hit this plus, and you will see these walls are selected. But if I change this icon to more than, these walls will be selected, you will see. Or you can make it true. Or non-equal, of course. You can use this as slabs, any kind of elements in Archicad. It's up to you. Even this elevation and sections. We are going to learn how to create columns, beams, and I will show you how to edit your walls and actually organizing them. We will learn how to intersect them, how to trim, and I will show you a couple of more commands. Alright, let's get started. First of all, in the left of the window, you will see this design menu, and as you can see here, we can place walls, columns, and beams. When we click column tool, you will see more options, and actually each option is the same with others. So you can change your starting elevation and elevation, you can change its direction or edit them after, or you can change its settings. For instance, as you can see, for the geometry method, we have selected the simple, or you can make it 2 clicks or rotated. They're very simple. First, if you click simple, if you click here, and it will immediately create your column. And if you select the second one, you will select 2 points. First, the starting point, and second, the finishing point. And as you can guess, it's going to be a sloped column. But we cannot see the whole column because we see the intersection point where your eye level is C. But if you select your column, you will see the whole column. You can change its visibility from its settings by clicking Ctrl+K from the floor plan and section part right here. And for the last one, we can place rotated. First, we will click the starting, and secondly, we can rotate before placing it. That's it. It's very simple. But of course, you can select your column and you can just rotate it by right clicking, move, and you can click the rotate. Or you can just use your shortcut. I've changed it to Ctrl+E. Just like this. First, we will hit Ctrl+E or any shortcut you determine. After that, you will select your rotating point. For instance, this point. You will click your reference point line such as this, and you can rotate. And second, last, you can finish. As talking about building materials, you can change it from this structure. You can make it iron or other elements. If you click this structure menu, you can change it to circular, and you can change its cross size from this input box. Now it's 30 centimeters. I'm going to make it 40 centimeters, for instance. And after that, I can add veneer icon. As you can see, the veneer is 10 centimeters. You can make this 2, and you can determine your veneer as core, finish, and other. Actually, selecting this finish will be more meaningful. And with this icon, you can change the building material of the veneer part. And you will see the edge will be immediately changed. If you can't see clearly, you can go back to the view menu. From on-screen view options, you can just uncheck this through line weight to see it better. You can remove this cross line if you click your column. You go to settings, and from the floor plan and section, you will see from the bottom list, you can use cover, or from the symbol type, you can just uncheck the crosshair with plane. In order to change the height of the column, you can change these values. You can select top and bottom offset. Now from the ground floor, from here to first story below 20 centimeters. If we go to ground floor or any other story and click settings, our floor height is 3 meters and 50 centimeters. Minus 20 is 330 centimeters for your column height. You can check it from here under the column segment, 330. By changing this value, for instance 0, is going to be equal with your floor height. And now top link to first, you can change it to second or other stories, or you can just click not link, and after that you can input your height, a constant value, for instance 4 meters, just like this. And here we can see the preview of the column. If you go to segment, you can add more segments for your column. To do it, we will just click this multi-segmented, and we will add a couple of segments, and you can click each segment and change its size. Now it works with the percent, 25%, or you can input a fixed height. For instance, I want this to be 1 meter. I want this to be 1 meter. And this is going to be 2 meters at the total. 211 is equal 4 meters. And of course, for each segment, you can change their building elements from this and their veneer settings. Or as we did before for the walls, you can just override surfaces and paint your columns. Also, beams work with the same as columns. I'm going to click beam, and first I will click my first destination and click my second destination. Or before clicking, I can just input a value, for instance 2 meters, just like this. And if we select our beam, we will see its reference line. You can change its reference line from here. You can think this is the section, so this reference line is located at the top of this beam. if you click this reference line, you can modify it as line. You can turn it to curve. I want to continue from this tangent, so I'm going to click this edit segment using tangent. And this part will be completely smooth. After that, I'm going to duplicate this column, right click, move, and I'm gonna click drag and copy and paste here. For the height, it's going to be located from the ground 0 from home story 0. Beams works a bit different. If you place them on your ground floor, its home story will be placed as first story, and from the first story its offset is 0. So you can think this reference line is equal to your first story level, which is 350. I'm going to click our columns, and after that I'm going to column segment, and I'm going to remove all of these. After that I'm going to change this %, and then I'm going to select first story and click minus, and you will see this point and this point are intersected at the same point. And also you can realize that using the same building material creates a complete transition and works as their unique. You can see any intersection line between the beam and column. So this will affect your elevations and sections. But if you want to add veneer for your beams, it won't work as columns. Unfortunately, if you want to add veneer, you have to select your beams, and from the structure you will have to click this complex profile, but you need to sketch a profile before using that. We are going to learn this later, but here we have an example. This generic beam, and for this generic beam there is already applied a veneer level and layer. Of course, you can switch back to the circular or rectangular and change its building material and element. Let's switch back to the floor plan, and I will show you how to edit your walls. For instance, I'm going to hit Alt and click this wall, and I'm going to copy that wall. And I'm going to create another. I will hit Escape, and you will see the arrow tool appeared, or you can click this arrow. I'm going to click this wall, and after that I'm going to hit Shift and gonna click my second wall. After that, from this list, I'm going to click this Intersect. That's it. Of course, you can use shortcuts. My shortcut is Ctrl+W. If you want to add your shortcuts, you will need to go to Options, Project Preferences, or your environment, and you will click this keyboard shortcuts and edit your shortcuts from this list. Now, after clicking walls, I can click this point, and after that I can make it to fillet and chamfer. I can select both. I will input a value here, for instance 100 centimeters, and I'm gonna click OK. And here you will see a smooth curved circular wall will be placed. Let's create another wall and intersect them. And after that, I'm going to hit Ctrl and click this part. You will see it will trim. Ctrl works for your computer also. It's the default setting. After that, I'm going to place another here, maybe. And I'm going to click arrow, click the wall, and I'm going to click adjust. After that, I'm going to click this. It will work as extend command in AutoCAD. For instance, I want to resize these walls. So I will select all of the walls. And after that, I will select this resize. The shortcut is Ctrl+K. You can see it from here. And here you will see a list. If you uncheck this define graphically, you can input value here. If you make this 100, it's going to be same with this. Nothing will be changed, but I want to add this value, for instance, 110. It will be applied like this. Also, resize effects we have, and you can choose one of these: wall column and beam thickness, library parse, and others. It depends your project settings, but I think it mustn't affect the wall and column thickness. Once I've decided these settings, I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to click somewhere for pivot point, just like this. If we go back to the resize, this time I'm going to click define graphically. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to click this corner, and I'm going to click the second corner, for instance here. After that, I want this segment to be, I don't know, 100, 1000 and 200 centimeters. I'm going to click enter, and you will see, let's move it here. I'm going to hit the M from here to here. Going to be my distance. I think I misclicked here, but it isn't important. Click the true point. We are going to learn how to move our elements in Archicad, how to work with DWG files, and we will learn how to use worksheets and layers. Well, if you want to move something in Archicad, first you will click it, and after that you can right click, click move, and you will see a couple of options here. First, drag, rotate, mirror, drag a copy, rotate a copy, mirror a copy. You can click one of these, such as this drag, or you can use their shortcuts like this. To change the shortcuts, you will go to options, click work environments, and click keyboard shortcuts. After that, you will see a box here, and you can just type in like drag, and by clicking it, you will see its shortcut. I have two shortcuts right now. First, the default Ctrl+D, and second, my shortcut is D. From my keyboard, if I hit the D, it will immediately move my element, my object. For instance, I want to mirror this wall according to this wall center, but I need to determine this wall center. Therefore, I'm going to change the reference line location from here. I'm going to make this center. You will see wall position changed, and if it is mispositioned, you can fix its position with the drag. And after that, I'm going to click my wall, move, and I'm going to click mirror a copy. Then I'm going to select the center of this wall. You will see a symbol, a different symbol. It's going to be a bold star. But if you hover over this edge, star, but it's not bold. But the center is bold, which points your reference line. After clicking here, and after determining your reference axis, you will see your mirror or symmetry will immediately created. After that, I can adjust by clicking this wall and adjust it to this wall. We learned these commands in the previous lesson, or maybe I can hit trim and I can just intersect these. I'm going to make this part smaller because I'm going to make this part state, and I'm gonna move it from here to there, and that's it. Let's say that you will need to place a reference DWG file from different source. To do it, we will go to File menu, we will go to External Content, and we will go to Place External Drawing. And after that, you will locate your file. For instance, I have this sample toilet. Just click that and click Open. After that, we are going to determine its drawing unit. It was drawn as centimeters, so I'm going to click millimeter from this list and input this box as 10. Let's click place and click somewhere on the screen. After that, we will see some missing file. It's not important. We're gonna click skip all. And here we will see our drawing. If you select your DWG file, you will see it selected, and you can move it by clicking its edges. You can crop like this. Even you can add different points as we did before, and we can create different cutouts. But it's not black and white, it's so colorful. We can fix it by going to color and transparency. It's not original colors. We can make it grayscale, or we can make it black and white. But this is block. We cannot edit this. To edit this, we need to explode this drawing. If we click this drawing and right click, if we click this explode into current view, and I don't want to keep original element after exploding, and for the layers, use drawing layers. Will add too many layers in your drawings, so if you want to make them clear, you can use drawings layers, and you can select import embedded layers. Let's just use this drawings layer and click. And now we can click each different line. And this drawing figure, it's original Archicad layer. And even you can continue editing as we did in the first lesson. I'm going to select these two and intersect them, for instance. Or I can just use this as reference. I will click this wall, and I'm going to corners as reference corners. But this is the worst method of doing this. In your floor plan, there will be lots of lines, walls, they will be on top of each other. Therefore, we need to use this clear and pure. To do it, we will use worksheets. This is why we have worksheet. Now I'm going to delete this or Ctrl+Z. I'm gonna go back. After that, from this menu, we will see worksheet tab. Now I will right click here and click independent worksheet. you can input any here and click create. After that, I can import my drawing right here directly into this worksheet. Or if I imported it before, I can cut it from here and paste it to here. I will click original location and click paste. After that, you will see the rectangle is moving. If you hit escape, your operation will be cancelled. Therefore, I will click left click somewhere on screen, or I'm going to right click anywhere and click OK. Now I can use this as worksheet. For instance, if I go to ground floor and if I right click this worksheet and click show as trace reference, I will see it. It's not on the ground floor. It's still on the worksheet. After drawing my walls, I can just click this trace, uncheck, and it will be still there but hidden. This is why worksheet is so important, but you cannot work in the worksheet. I mean, you cannot draw in worksheet. As you can see, your walls and other elements, Archicad elements, are offline. If you select your drawing, except the section, and if you copy them by hitting Ctrl+C, you paste them to worksheet, they will be placed, but they're not wall no more. They're only lines and fills. So this worksheet works sketch file. For instance, I'm going to select this fill. And as for the layer, it's structural bearing. But it's not structural bearing, it's only a line. So I want to change its layer. Under layer segment, I'm going to click icon. I'm going to place this as sketch layer. But we have no sketch layer in this list. We need to create our layer. So I'm going to hit Ctrl+L. And in this menu, we will see layer combination part and layer part. As you can guess, layer combination part combines of between the opened layers and closed layers, such as this hidden. As you can see, we are working in the drafting layer combination, and you can see it here as well. If you click other layer combinations, you will see these layers will immediately change according to your selected layer combination. Since we are going to use the sketch layer, we are going to create another layer. We will click this new, and we're going to type in sketch, for instance. But if you apply this, your drafting symbol is closed eye. It's invisible. This sketch is invisible in your drafting. So we will make this visible. To do it, we will click this sketch and click this eye. Or you can open this eye, and as you can see, the drafting selected. After that, you will hit this update status. Then we will hit OK. Once we have done this, we can click our element, and after that we can go to layer and we can select our new layer name. It's now sketch. If you don't want to do this one by one, you can select all of layers, all of lines, fills, and You can change it from here as well. But you will see it won't work. It's still structural grid. Still structural grid. And this is sketch. This is structural bearing. Well, to do it, I will show you the tip of the day. You will select all of the elements you want to change their layer. After that, do not forget this. Hit Ctrl plus Shift plus T. Ctrl Shift T. And then you will see the layer sketch. You will change this. Something different. You will click OK. After that, you will hit Ctrl plus Shift and T once again. Now you can change their layers to sketch. And if you want to change their pen, at the same time, you can change this pen number as well. Let's click OK. And I'm going to click this line, this polyline. You will see its name, sketch. This is sketch. Everything is under the sketch layer. Mostly railings and stairs are connected each other, so we are going to start with the stair tool. From the design menu, you can see the stair, and if you click that, you can see its options. Before placing this, we will change its width from here. We can change its elevation from the home offset, home story offset, and we can determine the top position. Now it's linked to first story. But I want this to start from 0. Therefore, I will make this 0. And after that, you can see this input method. You can start from the forward or backward. That means down. And by activating this place left railing and right railing, after finishing your stair, the railings will be placed automatically on your stair. And also stair settings are very important. Let's go to its settings from here. And most important part is here, because you can see 2 riser plus 1 going is going to limit your going value and riser height value. Now you can see that we have minimum and maximum values, and we can see that our number of risers 20, and if you click this menu, you will see its options. It's limited by this value, is 2 riser plus 1 going. If we make this 0 and set our stair to 3 meters and 50 centimeters, and if you want to make less riser, you will click this, for instance 19 or 18, you will see that these numbers will change. And now it's 23. Now 20. As for the standard values, I prefer using the 17, and our number of risers will be automatically set that value, which is 21. Let's click OK and create our first stair. Maybe we are going to start here, or for that I will just uncheck this place left railing. And there you go. Our first stair. Now if we go to 3D window, we will see this, our railing and our stair. Since we have changed the level of the first slab, you can see that from here is from the home story 1 meter. If we make this 0, and you can see it starts from the correct position. Now we have learned how to create a straight stair, but you can make this curved or other forms if you alt click your stair or click from this stair icon. First, if you click somewhere, before completing your whole stair, you can choose one of them. For instance, I will go as 2 meters. I will hit enter and I will create a slab or landing. After that, I will make this 2 meters once again, and I want to turn right, maybe up to 5 meters. Enter. 2 meters to down, and after that I can finish my stair just like this, or after creating you can continue editing this stair by clicking this corner, and after that you can click this build chamfer, or you can change its value. But if you click that edge, you will see that select segment type. You can change that segment light, landing, or window, and it will suggest you a shape of stair. You can choose that. You can choose that from there. For instance, I will click the edge, click here, and click window with equal goings. Once again, or window with equal angles. Now I can select this type. This point is unnecessary. I'm going to get rid of that. I will click this point, and after that I will move that to corner. Anyway, let's try again. Let's go straight, turn right, turn down. After that, from this menu, I can click these pins. Or after placing this, I can click this point and I can use this move and move it to there, but we have no space, therefore we are going to rearrange steps like this. Now we will have 1 step more to right, 1 step less to left. And also you will see that your railings will be set up automatically. After placing this, of course, you can get rid of your railing or place it manually. To do it, you will click this railing and you will hit your space, and you will see that the railing path will be highlighted on your selected edge, outside edge and inside edge. After placing these railings, you can change their reference line, center, inside or outside. While speaking of railings, if you click them, you will see its reference line. It can be edited like simple walls. For instance, I will hit this point and I will finish that from here. Also finish that from here. If we go to its settings, it's very simple to use. You can add top railings, handrails, rails, inner post, and other settings. For instance, if you hit this panel, you can add this panel. I will click this baluster from this view. It will automatically select baluster from the list, and I will click this minus. After that, I will click panel, hit plus, and you will see that will automatically be creating. Now I can change its settings from here. I can add details. I can get rid of hand railings like this. Or if you are not satisfied, you can always go to favorite settings from the menu and you can select one of these predetermined settings for your railings. Just like this. For instance, I want to close environment of this stair. To do it, I will use wall. I'm gonna click here and change its rotation icon. And by the way, you can make this in floor plan. And we will finish covering our stair. But we have a problem. We need to get rid of the upper parts from the stair. Solid element operations are used to design for these situations. For instance, I'm going to click this wall and we will right click. After that, we will click this net and click solid element operations. You can select it also from the list. From the design, you will see the same tool, solid element operations. And it wants you to select the target. Well, we have already selected that target. We will click this add as target. After that, we will click this stair and click as operator. Our third step will be selecting this choosing operation. We will click this menu and we will select this subtract with upward extrusion. With this command, this part will be removed from the whole wall. Now we will hit execute. And you will see that it will be automatically trimmed by the stair. Very useful for this kind of job. We will select these walls. Going to be a target. We will select the stair as operator and execute. That's it. After that, if you want to paint, of course you can paint this. I'm going to select both and gonna activate the override surfaces. Maybe we can use the white row. After that, we can paint the stair by selecting the structure, light, and we will override side parts with the same material. Plus stucco white row, and also for the landing, do we have a landing? No, we don't have, so don't need to change this. And there we go. Very nice and smooth. With the solid element operations, you can subtract your elements up, extrusion, downward, intersection, addition, and subtraction. I hope your learning progress is going great, and today we are going to learn how to create doors, windows, openings, and composites, and I will show you the 3D projection settings. If you want to go to the 3D window in Archicad, you can hit the F3 button and you can find your 3D elements which you created in the floor plan, and if you hit F2, you will go back immediately to ground floor. But if you hit the F5, you will see the same, but there's a difference. If you select something on floor plan, if you hit F5, you will only see the selected element in your 3D window. That's great. And also, if you right click any item, any element on the floor plan, you will see a couple of more options. You will see select in 3D, show selection in 3D, which I've showed you. F5 and show all in 3D. This works something different. For instance, we are going to select this wall, and after that we have decided to show everything. Then we are going to hit Ctrl+ F5 from keyboard, and we will see everything in the 3D window. And for instance, we are working on a very big project, and I want to select this stair in the 3D window, but I want to see also other elements. To do it, I will right click this and click the select in 3D. This command is almost new and very useful when you're working very big projects. And reverse, for instance, you are traveling in the 3D and you want to see this wall and select it in the floor plan. You will select this element and right click, and you will click this select on floor plan. There we go. You have selected your wall in the floor plan. That's great. Now, also we have marquee tool. You can select this. If you create a rectangle with this icon or this icon, the difference is between it will select all of your elements for multiple story, and if you click this, it will select only the elements visible in this ground floor. But I'm going to select all floors because I want to see if there is something below this floor or up this floor. After that, we are going to use the rectangular. You can select other icons too, for instance polygonal, and I will make a rectangle, or I'm going to make a rectangle like this and hit F5. And there you can see your cut stair in the 3D. This is very useful tool if you are working in a very big project that will affect your designing progress very well. Also in the 3D window, you will see this little man, which is explore icon, and you can click this. By clicking this, you can use WASD from your keyboard, and you can move as third-person shooter video game. If you hit shift, it will move faster, and from keyboard, if you hit plus, also it will move faster, or reverse, if you hit minus, it will move slowly. Or if you don't want to use this, you can hit escape, and you can use your middle mouse button. You can roll to zoom in, and roll out to zoom out. If you click your middle mouse, you can pan, and with the middle mouse plus shift, you can orbit your model. If you click this fit in window, it will fit everything in your project to this view. By the way, as you can see, we are in the generic perspective, but we can switch to axiometric view. You can use your mouse moving options, but you cannot use your exploring people model. If we go to settings, you can change all of the perspective and axiometry settings. If you click this icon, here we can see the preset viewing angles. For instance, if you want to view from top, you will look from the top, but it's looking weird. You can fix it, and how to fix it, you will click this top view, and after that you will see this custom angle. They are not normal. Sometimes it changes, so we will fix it by clicking this icon here, and it will snap to 0, as you can see. Or you can make your model like this, or you can just input your 0 value to this angle position. Also, if you are working with shadows from the graphical views, you can change the sunlight and your shadows position will change. If you click this perspective settings, like this, you can change your perspective settings. The most important value I think is changing this view cone, because for instance, if you are working in a small room, if you change this view cone, for instance 90, and you will see more things in your 3D view, and working will be easier for you. And by the default it was 75. Anyway, this was 3D projection settings. If we go to floor plan, you may want to add your building some doors and windows, of course. It's very easy. You can see the window and door tool right here. For instance, we select this door tool and we can change the anchor point from here. Now it's from the center, and we can change it to left or right depending on your facing style. Here we can change the size of the door. The width is 90, the height is 2 meters and 10 centimeters, and we have this seal to 0. For instance, I'm gonna place it from here. After that, I'm going to determine my opening direction like this. You can see that arrow, and I will hit F3, and you will see that there is a space between the button and door. It's the seal value. If we input here 0, you will see it will start from the bottom of the wall. And for instance, if you go to settings with this icon, settings dialog, you can hit Ctrl+Shift and T, and after that you will see lots of door model. You can place hinge doors, rotating doors, sliding doors, and garage doors, maybe storefronts, etc., etc. For instance, I'm going to place hinge door. It's the default door, and after place this, I want to change this door leaf to French leaf, and I want to add some handle, and after that I will make the left offset 5, 5 and 15, and I want to see a preview from here in the 3D or from the front, and this is our final model. For instance, I want to change the texture, therefore I'm going to go to model attributes from this list, and I will click this uniform door surfaces, and for instance I will make this white. I'm going to search for something white, and maybe titanium white we can use. You can change the handle surfaces, and you can change reveal model and their opening oversizes on the floor plan. You can fix them according to your door style. You can change your casing, outside, inside, threshold, seal, and even you can add sunshade for your model. And of course the details for the sizes. Anyways, let's click OK, and you will see your new door model. Window works the same with the door. I'm gonna click window tool, go to floor plan. I'm gonna place a window model right here. It will look something like this, but it's on the most edge of the wall. Therefore, I want to push the window some inside. To do it, I will change this reveal to wall core, maybe 10 centimeter or 8 centimeter. Way more better. And the same settings for the window. They are the same as the door tool. Same settings. I will select any kind of the window from this list, and for instance vertical multi-sash window and maybe 3 panel. I can configure this uniform, and also we can determine the detail level 3D and also 2D floor plan. After that I will add some window handle, and I can show the 3D projection. You will see that. And that's all for now. Let's click OK. And this is our window. It's about 1 meter from the surface. There are tons of tutorials about the windows and doors. If you are interested more about windows and doors, you can find tutorials in the YouTube channel. If they are not enough, you can always go to Patreon page. In there you can find more tutorials. If that's not enough too, you can message me and I will try to answer you. Anyways, now I'm going to show you how to use openings in Archicad. These openings, we have the exact opening tool. You can click it from here and we will see a couple of options: rectangular, short, circular and polygonal. You can use this tool for a simple purpose, or you can use this for your designing purpose. It's very practical and useful for multi purposes. For instance, I want to create an opening on the floor. I will click here, and even I can click the wall like this. After that, I'm going to hit F5 to see all of the model, and this is our wall opening, and this is our floor opening. After clicking them, you can change their sizes. For instance, 2 meter to 2 meter. And as for the slab, you can click their edges and you can offset them. Offset all edges. You can add more points. You can offset this edge. You can make something very different. You can make this curved. And you can copy this shape to this wall. Therefore, I'm going to right click from here and move and drag a copy. After that, I'm going to add this cut additional element. I'm going to click this wall. I can rotate this from this angle. Unlimited options. I'm going to delete this and I will copy this from wall to floor. And here you can see an icon. This is an opening icon. In the settings, if you want to go to settings, you will see uncast symbol is this. This is our uncast symbol. For instance, I can make this one. This is an opening, and here you can see the cut symbol, which is this one. You can, of course, you may want to change this to no symbol, and it will be visible like an opening without a window. If you go to settings, you will see more options. For the model, you can override inside. For instance, I want to make it yellow. And in the 3D window, I will see the yellow cut surfaces. And this was about openings in Archicad. But this part is very important. I'm going to show you composites in Archicad. Composites are very important while using your walls. floors, and they are visible in sections. Since we see this wall in a section view from our Archicad level, we will see this wall as a section. Therefore, we can add composite to this wall. To do it, we will go to structure and we will click this composite. After that, you will see this composite model from this list. And you can see different cut layers in your wall. They are different elements and they have their own thickness. How to change them? We will click the wall, right click, and the shortcut is clicking edit selected composite profile. That's it. If you select something from the list, you will see the edit skin and line structure will change. And for instance, for this basement wall, it consists of concrete block filler, which is 10 centimeter thickness, and the cut line is 149. After that, we will see our insulation, plastic hard, and between them we will see a hidden line, which is 141, and it has no thickness. And here we have another thickness, another element which has thickness is 15 centimeter, and the line pan is using 150. The reinforced concrete structure you can change and edit all of them and design your own composite layer. For this example, you can see the plaster gypsum on the most inside. I say inside because you will see this part is inside, bottom, and this part is outside. If you are using this on the wall, it's outside, or if you are using this for a floor, it's top part, and you can see this arrow too. I will click this concrete block filler, and you will see this arrow targets here. And if I change that to orange, this line is orange now. But this is not the thing we want, so I'm going to copy this value and paste here, and it will be more elegant for the presentation. Let's click OK and see what we have in the floor plan. As you can see, the intersection calculates automatically by Archicad, and also we can see in the 3D window we can see all of the layers. This is air layer. You will see the air layer side. Let's click the edit selected airspace, which is 5 centimeters. And also, if we make a section, create a section. For instance, I'm gonna all click the section, and from left to right, I will look to this direction, and I will make this the infinite depth. Right click and open curvature settings to see what we have for the composite. Just like this. With this composite tool, you can add very details for your projects, and you can showcase your detailed solutions. How to use Magic Wand tool, complex profiles, Hotlinks, and modules. It's going to be a very nice tutorial, and you will learn very important things for Archicad. Now, what is Magic Wand tool? Magic Wand tool is a kind of AI system. Well, actually not by what I call it. So, if you want to make something automatically, Magic Wand tool will help you very fast and nicely. If you sketch something in your floor plan, such as this absurd shape, after that, if you want to place a slab inside of this. The first way is using the slab tool by clicking one by one over these points. Or the second, the fastest method is using the magic wand tool. If you hit space on your keyboard, you will see the new icon appears, and this icon determines that you are going to use the magic wand. After that, you will hit click from mouse, and you will see a kind of new lines appeared on your lines. These lines belongs to your slab and they're blue. You will see that. And this is the fastest method of using this. It's not as rudimentary like this. You don't have to use this only slab tool. For instance, if you want to create walls around this, you'll just hit the space and there we go. And also we can use beam and railing and roof. But to do it, we will go to the complex profile for the roof. Let's try again from here. Just click the roof tool and hit the space. There we go. We will click this move plane and it will work. Just like this. Now, if we hit F3, we will see our interesting project. Now I'm going to elevate this and place here. And if I go to inside, I can see this very nice, and I can select my beams and place top. Anyway, this is magic wand tool. If you want to learn more about the magic wand tool, you can watch the tutorials from the link in the YouTube of my channel. Now I will show you complex profiles. What are complex profiles? If you, for instance, want to use beam tool, before that, if you go to structure, you will see these complex profiles. If you see that, as you can see in the icon, you can make a beam as this icon shape. Just hit custom, and as you can see, we can select any of these sections that we sketch. Not only this, if you go to wall tool, if you go to structure, in the previous lesson we've learned how to create the composite walls like this, but also we can use the complex profiles for the structure for the walls. For instance, concrete slab edge footing. And this is kind of complex profiles. You can edit them by clicking the edge, offsetting them. It's also very clever and smart tool. Brick wall with footing and another wall. So how can we create this? It's very simple. We will go to design and we will go to options, go to complex profiles, and we are going to click profile manager. After that, we will click this new button and we will select a folder. I'm going to use the main folder for this. Click new, and for instance, we can input a name here. Let's click OK. And after that, we will sketch this, but most important thing is your lines won't work. Your only fills will work, such as this brick type. And for instance, if I create another detail element to here, and for instance, this is going to be a glass, maybe 2 mm, and another brick, I don't know. After that, if I place an aluminum inside, well, You know details better. And maybe a handrail like this. Just eyeball. This is a kind of profile, complex profile, and I'm going to use this with the wall, and I'm going to activate this, or you can use this as beam, column, railing parts, and library part. It's up to you. After that, I can determine the parts as core or finish. Actually, they're core for this kind of purpose. And then I'm going to hit the save. After that, if we go to floor plan and if we click the wall, from here, if we select the new profile from the profiles, and now we can create our newly created profile like this. Just like that. And this is editable. You can make this curved, or you can use this with magic wand tool. Let's hit Alt, copy the settings, hit space and click inside. That's it. And this was how you can use the complex profiles in Archicad. Now we will learn how to use hotlinks and modules. Actually, hotlinks and modules works as the block system in AutoCAD. Let's say that we are going to turn this railing into a module system. We are going to select this in the floor plan, and after that we will go to file menu and we will go to external content and we will select the save selection as module. After that, we can give it a name from here and we can determine are we going to use MOD file or PLN file. I prefer MOD file because this is the lightest file, and if you select the PLN file, it's going to save your lines and dimensions in the file, and that kind of elements will be imported in your projects as well. You may want to prevent your visual pollution of the file. Therefore, we are going to use the MOD mode file extension. Anyways, after that you can click the replace selection with this hotlink module. With this, your selected model will be deleted and the new hotlink module will be placed the original position of your element. Now after that we will hit the save and you will see that now this is something different. Now we now have the circular helper catchers. Now they are rectangular as you can see, and they're in the soft yellow. You cannot edit this, you cannot move this. If you want to move this, you will need to suspend group selection, and now you can move this with the basic tool from move and drag. Now you can move. Just like this. If you hit the suspend group, you can't move any sub elements of the hotlink file. For instance, I'm going to duplicate this to here and a couple of times. After that, if I want to change this, I will select this module, right click, and I will click this hotlink module menu, and I will click edit module in separate Archicad. After that, in Archicad, new Archicad tab, I will edit this and save and hit update from here. And then all of your instance blocks will be updated automatically by your saved file. Hello everyone, in this part of the Archicad training set, we are going to learn roofs, meshes, that means terrains in Archicad. In Archicad, in order to create a roof, we are going to use the roof tool. we are going to go to the left of the part and we will click the roof tool, this icon. And here you will see a couple of options: construction methods, geometry methods, structure part, and it's the height and elevations, and also other detailed options. First, if you want to change the construction method, for instance, complex roof, for instance, hip gable roof, or rotated rectangular roof, you can use this. Let's try. Let's click this icon, and now we can make a random roof like this. It's very complicated. Let's get rid of that, and I'm going to hit the W to repeat the previous command in Archicad. For instance, if I want to create a rectangle roof, I will click this, just like this. If I just hold click, and I will see a different method of doing that. As you can see, and now I'm going to make a rotated rectangle. And this was about the geometry method, multi-plane. But you can create a single plane roof as well by using this single plane icon. Now, first of all, I will enter the first node of roof pivot line. This is going to be my pivot line, and I'm going to determine which the direction goes up. For instance, here, after that, I will sketch my roof. For instance, a rotated rectangular, or I can make a triangle like this. If I select this roof, you will see this is the pivot point, and this is the top point. I will hit F5 to see it, and that's it. Now you can change the height and pitch from here. Now it's %, but if I want to use the degree, I can use this. For instance, this is going to be 45, and this is going to be 0, which starts from the bottom of the ground floor. This blue reference line is on the ground floor 0. Also, you can change it in the 3D window as well by clicking the editing points, and you can use this change roof and pitch. Or you can change the stretch height like this. You will realize that this thickness will change as well. And as we did before for the all elements in Archicad, you can modify this by clicking their edge, and you can continue editing. If you want to learn more about the roofs, I will add a card which you can learn 21 different roof styles in Archicad. Now here we came to meshes and terrains in Archicad. As you can see, we have a terrain shape bordered as rectangular, and we can see its isohypse lines. And each isohypse lines has its own levels. You can click them, you can modify them, you can change their height, and you will realize that your model will change according to that. So how can we do this? First, we will go to Mesh tool, and we will determine a geometry method, for instance, this rectangular. After that, we will elevate this for some kind of isohypse splines. We don't have any isohypse splines we can create. You can use polyline tool, or you can use spline tool. It's up to you. Let's click spline for now, and I click randomly. You can just import your isohypse lines and as DWG file and embed it in the worksheet file as this isohips. Anyway, now I will integrate with this isohips line and with my mesh. I'm going to click my mesh, and after that, once again, I will click this mesh. I'm going to hit space and click the spline. That's it. After that, this is going to be fit to user ridges. And same. If we go to 3D window, we will see this. They're all on the same level. How can we change their height? It's so simple. We will click our mesh, and now we can get rid of these lines, and I will click this spline, and you will realize that the spline group will select it. Click one of them, go to elevate mesh point, and this is meter, by the way. Sorry, this is centimeter. You can just check it out in the options menu. And this one will be 5 meters to mesh reference plane, or you can change this, set this according to project 0. It's up to you. Let's click OK. Let's make this 2 meters, and this 2, for instance, will stay 0, and you will see the differences. If you see some strange leveling problems, you can fix manually. Now we will click this and elevate mesh point. This time we will hit apply to all. 600. Now we are talking. 300. We will click this point, for instance, and we will set this according to our mesh, or we can input a direct value from your keyboard, for instance 800. You can make it on the 3D as well as in the floor plan, and for instance this is going to be 10 meters, and just be sure that this apply to all will be unchecked. If you check that, all of your points will be changed according to that. In order to check it out, I will click this point and click this elevate mesh point. I will see that the value is 8 meters. How to use favors in Archicad, how to organize our libraries, and we will learn how to use objects, and I will show you how to create your own objects. Favors are very important in Archicad, because if you set up something and you know there are tons of settings while you're creating something such as the windows or doors, you can change its width, height, and the surfaces, surface type, and this is time consuming. Although it won't be for Windows, it's very important for railing tool and stair tool. If you click the railing tool, the design is very important right here. It's not limited. You can create hundreds of designs, different designs for your own. This is where favorite tools come into play. If we are talking about railings, if you click segment, and you will see an icon here, segment favors. You will see that predetermined favors settings were created by Archicad. We can use timber fencing segments, metal railing segment, white railing segment. Let's try this. We will click this and hit apply. We will click OK, and you will see at 5 your railing changed. Let's click once again, go to settings. This time I'm going to click different railing segment, and this will be automatically changed with one click. This is so strong and powerful. This is not only for the segment, you can use the top rail as favorite. You will see different top rail are saved as favorite or railings as well. By changing these setups, after that, by going to the segment tool, you can use this redefine favorite to update or refresh, or you can click or save as new favorite. For this, I will show you a couple of more examples. Alright, here we are in another file which is SP template, and as you can see here we have a couple of garden wall type 1, a couple of fence options, railing options, we have different wall favors, we have different slab parts, and here you can see how they applied this into the section. And we have very nice details for this. If we look at the 3D window, you will see this. And if we go to settings and go to favors, you will see that lots of wall type, railing type will appear. And this is why the favorite option is very important. Let's say that I'm going to use basic railing, and after that I will go to favorite and I'm going to select this garden wall type 2. I'm going to hit apply, and here we can see our garden wall. Alright, let's go back to our training file and I will show you the libraries of Archicad. What is the library? Library is a folder that are collections of pre-configured, editable, and localized parametric objects that are also known as library parts, GLL objects, or simply objects. Libraries are actually folders in which the library parts reside. But what are the objects? Objects are small files that save you the work of creating many repeatable items in a building during design, such as windows, doors, piece of furniture, etc. All Archicad objects are highly parametric. You can change their sizes, color, and many other parameters to tailor them to best fit in your project. They were created using GDL, which means Geometric Description Language, and their file format and file name extension is GSM. For instance, we are going to place a chair. Therefore, I'm going to go to Object Tool and go to its settings. And here you will see the libraries which are linked. If you click Linked Libraries, open that folder, you will see Archicad Library 27. And we have Basic Library, inside of that Visualization and Add-on Library. We will go to Basic Library, Furnishing, and we will click Chair. And inside of that, we will be able to import any of these into our project. For instance, this composite chair 03. Just like this. We can move this, we can change its size and elevation from here. Let's hit F5 to see what we have. And here we can see our chair. And actually this is not in the project, this is a linked like block or XREF file AutoCAD, but it's 3D and also it contains some 2D elements. Now I will show you library options. We will go to File menu, click Library and Objects, and Library Manager. In the Library Manager, you will see linked libraries on this window. And As you can see, we have Archicad library 27. We have embedded library, which means your embedded files, embedded objects inside of project. Actually, this is a shortcut. You can see the objects which are embedded from this list. These objects increases your file size, but these objects for linked won't increase your file size. You can add your linked library with this icon by clicking add, or you can just remove linked libraries from this list by clicking them and clicking this icon. But just be careful, if you unlink this library 27, this object will disappear, and also doors, windows, because they are linked to this Archicad library 27. I will show you. I will click this and click this icon and click OK. Now they will disappear. And all of the objects, textures are disappear. Sometimes you see your project something like this. That's the problem. Avoid this. You will need to link your Archicad library 27 into your project. To do that, as I showed you, we will go to libraries and objects, click library manager. After that, we will click add, or we can click this arrow. You can see its shortcut from here. You will click this, or you will click add, and you will locate your Archicad folder. Now I have located my Archicad folder, and I will show you where is the library part. This is Archicad library 27. I will click this and click open. And after that, I will click OK. It will update the scene and everything will be back. There we go. Now we have our linked libraries, we have our linked objects, and we have our textures. This was how you can use objects, libraries, and favorites in Archicad. If you want to learn more about this, you can always find out more extensive tutorials in the channel and of course in the Patreon page. Until next tutorial, have a nice day. Bye.